I'm joined by Pedro Carvalho Almeida, who specialises in brand identity and innovation. And you're here at XpoNorth to talk about brand archaeology. And I think we should probably start off by saying what it is, what it involves.
Well, brand archaeology is a methodological approach to visual identity and branding. So instead of designing visual identity systems from scratch, what I do is delving into the past of companies, organizations and brands in order to decode and deconstruct their past in terms of what they have achieved in visual terms, in design terms, products, and also their relationship between the place, the culture and the society. So I'm looking at historically and culturally relevant brands and understand them in terms of how they have progressed over time. So brand archaeology is a means to delve into the past of these companies, many of which don't have their own historical archives and material culture. So it's like a bit, or it's a bit like gathering materials to provide themselves to these companies a sense of their trajectory of historical development over time.
I was going to ask about the archive and whether or not brands tend to have a big archive that they can just open the door to you and say, have a look, Pedro, or whether you have to do detective work. And where do you look if that's the case?
Well, when some companies have these archival materials that they have collected over time, and interestingly, not many organizations do so. Mm-hmm. There are also cases where there isn't no material and there is anything about them, like opening a door and everything is there. Yeah. So what I do basically is a combination between ethnographic research and graphic design methods. So the ethnography bit has to do with searching in the field, in the territory, the traces of the existence of this brand. So it can be the collection of antiques, objects, family albums, labels, packaging, all this kind of material culture related to these brands. I would say this could be the tangible manifestations of a brand, whether it is looking to the organization itself or to the design processes or the objects they have produced. So many times it involves going to old shops, warehouses, mm-hmm. And in some cases to dig literally under people's beds. In some cases, it happened already.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, it's a fascinating subject. Is there? I can't see where the career path is, where you end up in brand archaeology. What did you start out by doing?
Well, I started doing this as part of a research project. When I was doing my PhD, I selected a case which is a footwear brand from Portugal, where I'm coming from. And this particular brand was very popular in the 20th century, I would say between the 50s and the 90s, and suddenly it disappeared. And I was intrigued to what have happened to this company, and I wasn't expecting to find that the company collapsed, the factory was torn down, and there was anything to say or to see about them. So I had to interview former workers and former CEOs of the company, so tracing back people who somehow could lead to clues that could help somehow finding information about the company. So you're right, it's totally in some cases a detective work, and there is a lot actually about forensics work which help finding these materials. But that is just one stage of the process. So one stage is about the collecting of this data and of these materials. A second stage, I would say, is about organizing this information and try to extract and derive meaning from what was found. And the third stage, I would say, would be looking at the gathered materials in the form of archives that then gradually can be constructed and interpret as generative resources to provide either these brands or the companies a sense of historical meaning. So it's pretty much about digging into the stories of the brands to generate and produce content which then can foster new product developments, or also can be used as a tool for informing strategic management decision making, for example.
Now you've brought something along for us to show us.
Yeah, these are my notebooks, which I've been consistently doing since 2004. So
if you hold them up for the...
Yeah, why not? And one interesting thing is that these two that I brought, well, the covers usually relate to projects that I've been working on, so I manufacture them myself. And they are also not just journals where I can take my notes and the writings and well, all these sort of drawings and projects that I'm working on, but they are also a means to, I would say, not crystallize, but to fix moments about the project themselves. And actually that one, which has a 50, relates to a brand that I'm working with at the moment. So we are doing a commemorative series of footwear to celebrate the 50 years of this company.
Well, some fascinating drawings here, if anybody can see this.
They're not the best.
Well, I'm always interested by the, yes, not the best, but I'm wary of giving away your secrets, Pedro, so I'm not quite sure how far. We'll save this for later. Pedro, thank you very much
You're welcome.
indeed
Thank
for
you.
joining us
Cheers.
today.